Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's really a pleasure to meet you all today, and warm welcome to all of you. My name is Artem Romanovsky. I work with Gurtam for quite a lot of time, for more than 10 years. And for now, I'm head of um, partner growth in Wialon division. My team is responsible for helping our partners to understand Wialon, how it works, and how to use it in the different business niches. I believe that somebody of you might have seen me or my colleagues on the different webinars on some expos all over the world. And you should know that so we are quite experienced in the telematics, and that's our passion, to be honest. By the way, here are some rules for today. The webinar will be, I don't know, for maybe 40 minutes more. So please don't worry about questions you may have. Please write it to the chat. My colleague here today as well, his name is Mirza Mohammed Nawaz, you may know him, will take these questions wisely to the list, and we'll go through it in the end of the webinar. Yeah, we're going to have a Q&A session for sure. Also, I guess that if we might, not have time for covering all the questions, not a problem, because I will address all the answers to your emails that you used for the registration. And yeah, so many people. Okay, so I guess we should start our webinar. Give me a second. Yeah, that's me. Today we're gonna talk about tasks. Brand new feature released in Wialon in the past quarter, and this is something unusual but similar to different features that you might see. And this feature covers some of the end customers and our partners' needs. So let's go. Our plan for today. First of all, we discover tasks, how it works, how this feature simplifies incident and event management. Then we'll go closer to the live demo. I'll show you in the Wialon interface how it works step by step. And the last part will be quite useful as well, because I'll share with you some real scenarios that might be used by you, by your customers in real work and daily routine. And they can utilize this feature and simplify their work. Let's start with the first step, task discovering. Yeah. The tasks is a new tab in Wialon that you may see if it is enabled in your account. How it works. So this is a list of some tasks created by a few ways. First of all, this task might be created by notification. That's the most easiest way and the most, common way to get something important to the list. So it must be outworked later on. So you create just notification and register event for the unit, and here we go. You got it to the list. Also, another option to have a new task created, it's to create an event manually in the window of already triggered online notification. For example, you forgot about adding this option to the notification, or it must be done from time to time, or you'd like to not forget about it. So you just make a note from the triggered online notification for the further actions from your side and from your worker's side. And the last option, how to create a task, is to create it by using standard option of register when you register it manually. I'll show you everything later on. Go next. Once the task is created, you'll see that the indicator on the tab increases its number. And if there are no tasks to work with, it shows 0, but if something new appeared, the user might be informed immediately, like dispatcher or technical support. So he'll see that, okay, something needs to be distributed and resolved. Let's go closer to the task list. It's the only interface you may see with slight differences, but it contains few important things and fields. Every task has a priority. It might be like medium, low, and high, like critical. Yeah. Every task also has a status, name, a date of if it is done or rejected, the name of assignee, the worker who is assigned to work with this issue, the name of the unit that triggered this event, and also description came from the notification or inserted manually. Actually, that's how it works, and that's how it sees. And that's the very beginning, easy to learn, actually. But later on, you can dig into the detail of every event to get some more information. For example, your worker, your dispatcher, or somebody else goes into the event, has some information on what happened there, put the comment over it, see the location. They also have an option to send a message to the driver or send a command to the unit, to the device, for example, to block the engine, that's an option, maybe one of the most popular in our system in this scenario. Yeah, and once I show you how it works in general, let's go closer to the live demo. I'll log in to my account to show you how it works step by step. Now I should cancel my slideshow and go to the Wialon. I hope that now you can see that my screen shows my Wialon account. Let me check the chat. Maybe something goes differently. Everything is good so far. Great. So that's how the tasks looking like inside the Wialon. Actually, usually work with the monitoring tab or with dashboards, tracks, or whatever. But the tasks are collected here, and you can come here anytime. Right. For now, you can see the created tasks here. For example, I already have some new ones. What should I do? Once they get to my list, for example, I am a dispatcher, I am a supervisor, yeah? I have to clarify their priority. If something is a test, okay, it's low priority. It will affect my further decisions. If there's a SOS message, it must be high. And let's go to do that. And who must do that? I decide for myself. I say that, okay, who has less amount of tasks? Okay, this guy should resolve this issue. And the bad thing is, this is a user, right? And once you assign a task to him or her, they already see that this task must be done by them. In other words, any changes that you apply here, any worker or dispatcher or supervisor, it also will be shown immediately for all other participants, which allow to work with the task in a group, in a team. Yeah, that's great, actually. And once it is assigned, let me check what's going on inside this event. Let's go deeper. I click it here, and I see that some alarm message from the attack was received at this time nearby this address. Okay, what goes next? I can show the event location loudly. Okay, got it. And I can put my comments into this event. So I could ask like high priority, check it. Yeah, because something like SOS button, something happened. And that's it. And person who works with this task might also send a command to this unit. For example, that's a vehicle, or so we may stop the engine, for example, yes, or something different. For example, you can run a video from this device to check what's going on there, and any other option that you may imagine. Also, if there will be a driver assigned, you could write him a message, for example, through SMS. And we just decide that, okay, this task is under control, and worker works on it. And once something happened, he adds some comments on top of it. Yeah, I checked, for example, false alarm, right? Okay, got it. I know that we also have received some advices on improvement of our new model, and one of these suggestions says like, okay, maybe we should have a list of comments like one by one, like the history of comments, like a chat on this issue, and our developers are aware of this suggestion and they think how to implement it already. Let's go back to the list. And now you see every list, every event is under control. Everything is assigned, something on me. And then I decide, okay, I want to see only my task. I done my job. I distributed the events. Am I actually? Yeah. Then I go to these filters, quick filters. I push not assigned, and I say that, no, I have two more to be assigned. This and that. Okay. No unassigned like tasks. Let's go to my ones. I have my one in a progress. Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm aware. And high priority, there are two of them. And that's it. I also may run the search by some particular fields of the event to clarify like what happened to this unit before. I can request the task for some particular time as well, just if I'd like to analyze it backwards to the past, so I can check the particular day of it. And that's how it works. How to create a new task, as I said. Here are some notification working, for example, on connection loss. You need only have this option enabled. Register event the unit, and nothing more. That's it. Then it starts to push it to the task list. Okay, there are some rules must be followed, like having access rights, but you definitely know about it. Yeah, go next. Second option, how to register a task. Okay, I have a list of notifications here. And I worried about this one. Island control. While he stopped. Not sure. Let's see. Check the stop. Got it. And I must go to the tasks, actually. And the last option is to create an event right from the unit list. Register event. Just create custom event like test. And it goes like, okay, it might be not test, but you can create a fuel filling, right? Some other options to check that describe this situation. And here you go. You have a new custom event here. Okay, let's reject it because, and I'm not allowed to reject it, right? That is a trick. Once a worker, a dispatcher, or a supervisor wishes to change the status to some significant like done, paused, or rejected, he has to clarify why does he do that. I want to reject because that is the test one. Okay, it is done. And furthermore, if somebody'd like to get back to this event to check what happened, how this was processed, here she will see that the supervisor, me, decided to reject it because he decided it was a test event. Same thing with if the status go to be done or paused. That's it, how it works. If you ask me, sometimes I'm asked about that. If I'd like to see the actions of the user, how can I know about it, right? Okay, I say you. First of all, it goes to the log of the events made by a user. All the user actions go to here. And if I want to see the list of these actions, like a report, so I can create a report, run it, and see all these actions. It also might be done through the unit story, history. Yeah, that's it. Actually, that's how the Wialon works with this new module. And the main functions you may see are working pretty well. They are developed according to the customer and partners' needs, but we definitely have some plans for further development. And I suggest you to go to the next part of our webinar. We went through the live demo. Okay, I hope that there are some questions in the chat to be answered later on. Don't worry, I'll get back to it. And yes, you can see that some actions might be done. Like during this work, I can send message to a driver, can send a command to the unit to make some actions done. And let's go to some practical tips. That's really important to follow the idea of why did we decide to create this model. The thing is that every fleet experience events and incidents that require individual analysis and resolution. Many of these events are marked as significant by users, meaning they are registered and processed further. For example, up to my data, we have 3.5 million events registered daily. So all of them were created by some reason. And having this new model, we provide the possibility to process these events furthermore in a few steps. Before tasks functionality, partners and their users lacked a comprehensive tool to collect and manage these events in one place. Instead, they used workarounds such as exporting reports to Excel, creating Telegram channels, building custom tools, or relying on online notifications. But each method had its limitations. Now, partners can leverage this tool as a competitive advantage in their business, as similar solutions are rare in other systems. Events and incidents will always occur, always. And the faster the response, the lower the potential damage to end users. That's money. That's why our customers, our users buy Wialon, to prevent damage, to reduce costs, to have a control. That's what you suggest to have. And the simpler the setup, collection, and presentation of information, the less work is required from partners. Another thing I see like an option here is simplifying the work of partners. Having some notifications on recent functionality like health check, your supporters, your technicians might check the status of devices. I like this symbiosis of these functions. So don't forget about yourself. You can use it not just for the end customers as a benefit for their business, but also for yours. And speaking about benefits, you definitely like to hear about some particular scenarios of usage, right? Who are the people that are going to use it? I have 4 scenarios for it. Let's start with the first one. First scenario is responding to notification. The goal is simple: to efficiently respond to events like such as SOS alarms or fuel thefts or driving issues. Okay, what's going on? Did the dispatcher sees a notification in the task model? He reviews event details and contact the driver to verify the situation. Then he adds a command to the event and updates its status as resolved. The event is closed and archived for future analysis. Here some issues might be resolved in different ways, as I mentioned, depending on your possibilities on your devices. You may also not just send a command to the unit, but to block the engine, to record the video of what's going on there, and any other options that you might just wonder about. That was the first scenario. Go to the next. Second scenario. That is a task distribution among the team. The goal here is also simple: to ensure that each task is assigned and completed. So the supervisor checks the list of the new tasks in the system. He assigns tasks to individual workers or dispatchers. Then he also monitors task statuses to ensure that they are completed on time. And he also could add some comments on top or apply some changes. He can change priorities if necessary. Third scenario. Third scenario is about analysis, historical data analysis. One day, you'll decide, okay, I want to know more about what happened during the past months or with this unit or this particular day, something happened. And okay, the fleet manager opens the history of events and tasks. Then he uses filters to select tasks by status or unit or worker assignee. Then analyzes task completion times and comments, how the things were done, in which way, and then makes the decisions to optimize processes based on this data. Now we go to the different level, one by one. And the last, not the least scenario I'd like to tell you about is incident management. The goal is to control task execution for incidents such as accidents or thefts. How it works: the dispatcher takes on the incident and updates its status to in progress. He logs all actions in comments. Example, calling the police, requesting video, calling a manager. Then dispatcher changes this task status to closed once all actions are completed. And later on, supervisors can review incidents with comments for reporting purposes. That's the action, the scenarios that we see might allowed for your customers and for you using this task module. We also have a development plan on it. However, this model was released like less than three months ago. We already have some things to update, to extend. First of all, we'd like to expand the list of filters in the table to allow you to work it more flexible. Also, we'd like to add a history of the comments that I told you just before. Later on, we would like to allow the selection of assignees and priorities when registering the events, immediately without pulling that into the general list. Configure notifications, special notifications, like we'd like to maybe get the special notifications only by tasks, not pushing you to use the common notifications. We also like to add direct access to the register from the table. And our long-term plans include adding metrics and task information to the dashboard. Yeah, that's a common request and feedback from our partners. And we do care about this feedback and consider it in our plans for further developments. Actually, that's almost all that I wanted to tell you today. Yeah, my name is Artem Romanovsky, and now we can go to the questions that we gathered from the chat. Let me check the list. You can also write your questions now. So let's start talking about it. The question number one. Andrea is asking me, how about exporting the content of the tab? Wow, very interesting question. First of all, I think that if you want to export the content, you may use reports, first of all. Like, you run reports with this information, then you export it to the system outside. You can make it manually, or you can create a job that will run this report daily, for example, and send you like a report on the work of these dispatchers in the morning. So feel free for it. But if you mean something different, yeah, please specify. Go next. The next question is it possible to create a report template that includes tasks table allowing you to view the tasks that need to be completed along with their status on specified dates. Huh. Okay, maybe it is related to the previous question. I guess I understand what you're talking about, to push the whole data somewhere to different systems. Yes. Well, in this way, I guess it might be taken into consideration by our developers for further development because it's an interesting scenario, right? I presented you four scenarios, but this is kind of fifth scenario. I guess that I'll contact our developers after this webinar and talk to them about this suggestion. By the way, I'd like to ask you, start using tasks, and there is a feedback button. Let me show you the feedback button, okay? Look, here is a small but fancy button under on the upper right corner. Send the feedback, and you just click it and share your feedback here, your suggestions. Many of our plans are built on what we see from your answers from here. So please tell us your ideas. How do you see will be more convenient, efficient use this model? Okay, great. Go next. The next question is it possible to filter and extract tasks info through API? The next question is also about getting the data about these tasks to somewhere outside of Wialon, and it's clear that it's interesting, to develop some integration with your internal systems. I guess it might be taken, but partly. Let me check that for you just in a second. I'm checking that with our SDK, if you know what is it. Okay, here we are. Not now. As I see, the tasks are not added to the API, to the open API. The reason might be that this is a brand new feature that is under the development right at the moment. But we see your interests into the integration with our systems, and I guess it will be, it will be available one day. Please check our news from time to time. Yeah. Next question. Any video series for new users? Video series? Do you mean some training for new users on this model or what? Can you please specify your question? I mean that we can use this webinar as a training video that you can use for the users. Okay, but if I misunderstood you, sorry, let me know. Simon asking us, can the user see only his tasks and not the other tasks? Yeah, exactly. Look, here's the thing. Maybe I was not pointing your attention to it, but here I work as a supervisor and I have my workers under me. I have a list of them, yes. But the thing is, once they are logged onto their own credentials, they see only their tasks. For example, this sub-account number 001 must see only these three tasks. He sees no more. And yes, that is the answer. Yes, the user can see only his tasks if he is a worker. But if you are supervisor, you have access to other ones, to other colleagues, workers. You can swiftly filter your tasks just clicking on this filter. You solved your ones, then you go to not assigned and work with them. So it works in both ways. Uh, great, great. I hope you're satisfied with this answer. Nikos asking us, it will be nice to see tasks by unit, but I can filter it by unit if you mean that. Maybe I just don't understand it properly. Let me check the chat. Maybe there are any answers to me. To see tasks by unit. Or maybe you mean that on top of the unit must be some task displayed. It is not okay, Nikos, right? I mean, if we hover over the unit to check if there are any tasks. Wow, very interesting idea. You have nothing about it, but it's a great idea. Could you please send a feedback with this idea to our developers? They will be happy to hear about it. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Nikos. Next question. Amahora is asking, if I accidentally assign a task to the wrong user, is it possible to reassign it to the correct user? Yes. As a supervisor, you have these access rights to reassign to anyone else, not assigned to me, to any other person in your team. So yes, it is possible. We do care about further developments, and we also asked about some work organization and some logs on changes. So we also keep that in mind that our users, both customers or partners, might need some analysis for the actions made for any on the every step. So these actions will be logged and might be seen into the reports later on. For now, partly they are already seen, but we keep working on it, onto the extended options. Go next. Oh, so many questions. Pleasure to see you today. Like, you're so active. Mireia is asking, can we generate a report with the total information that is being generated on tasks? I'm not sure about the amount of information. Yes, but first of all, we have a events report, like report on events. By units, by events, and you, for example, pull every information out of here immediately. It is related to the questions from the very beginning of our meeting. So guys who already asked about the same report, here it is. Use events and all the stuff that you need, you may find here. If you're lacking somebody, please let us know. Next question by Simon. When a task is assigned, will the user get notified? Actually, he'll see that he got a new task in the list, and also the number will be increased, like red 1 number, red 2 number. But, he'll see that also in the list that he has new tasks in a new status or to-do status. And the thing is that the user must be logged into the system. Yeah. If he is not in front of the computer, it might be a problem. But if he on the working schedule now, yes, he'll see that. If you think that we may make some updates on top of it, please let us know. It will be very interesting to listen to these ideas. Next question by Simon as well. Yeah. Can a user work and add comments from a mobile app? No, fortunately, but I guess it will be added, but it's not in the nearest plans. So we just wait people to start using this task model like in web, using laptop or PC. But let's think about using mobile application later on. Thank you for this question. Next question by Faiz. Is it possible to use tasks to assign parking time for every unit? You definitely have a plan in your mind. Really, if it was to use task, assign parking time for every unit. Parking time. How are you going to use it? I mean, for instance, you want to make sure that all your units are parked at uh, at 18 hours. Is it possible to create a task that notifies you whenever a unit is active? Oh, yeah, sure. Perfect. Perfect idea. You just create a simple notification on the speed. For example, speed is higher than 0. Yes? And just run this notification on all your units or unit group and make an action to register an event. And all the units that has some speed after this time, like this time period, will go to the list of tasks. Very nice idea. Just clearly 100% suitable for this model. Please try it. If you face any issues with that, please let me know. We'll fix it. Yeah, guys, check this option. It's very nice business case. It's already might be used. Oof, we made it. Yes, we answered all the questions, I guess. If I missed something, please, sorry. Give me a second, please. Yeah, I stopped sharing to see you all again. Thank you for coming to this webinar. I was happy to meet you today. I am surprised at the amount of people are interested in that. Sorry if I missed any questions. I hope I did my best for you to know more about our new model. If you still face any questions, issues, please write to us. Also, be sure that after the event, like the webinar, we'll gently go through the list of questions. If you miss something, we'll address you the answers to your emails. Also, the recording of this webinar will be available for viewing later on. So you can take this video for your colleagues if they'd like to learn about task in Wialon one day. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you to my co-hoster, Navas, for helping me. Let me read your messages. Thank you all. It's a pleasure to see that it is useful. Thank you for coming. See you one day again. Stay tuned. Goodbye.